Welcome back, guys. Today we are going to talk about Google Sheets. Google Sheets is basically the same thing as Excel. It's just a spreadsheet creator. I'm going to share my screen with you guys, and we will get started. Okay. All right, guys. First thing we need to do is to go to your drive. If you do not know how to go to your drive, let's go to google.com. Alright, in the upper right hand corner, if you've already signed in, if you have not, go ahead and sign in and click on the series of little boxes. This is where your apps are located. So I'll click that and I'll go over and click Drive. Alright guys, here's my Google Drive. I'm going to go over here to New, hit it, and I'm going to select Google Sheets. I said earlier, Google Sheets is nothing but a spreadsheet creator like Excel. If you can use Excel, you will have no problem with this. I am not the best Excel user in the world. I'm learning, so we'll get through this together. Alright guys, as with any other Google app, if you notice up here, as soon as I make a change to this, I type anything. Let's give it a title real quick. I call them sample. Alright. As soon as I make a change, this little file folder pops up. This file folder is telling me that this is saved. It says all changes saved in Drive. So this tells me where it's been saved at. You know, right now it's been saved in my Drive, but I can select any of these other files for it to save in. So I'm going to cancel that. Get rid of this. Alright guys, we're going to talk about the features of Google Sheets. Start here with the file. It's just your basic stuff. You can do a new document, new spreadsheet, new presentation from here. You can open one. You can rename this spreadsheet, or you can make a copy. This is very beneficial if you have a original that you do not want to alter, but you want to use maybe as a template. I'll show you examples from templates I've been working on for one of my schools. So I can make a copy of this and send it to my principal. Say my principal wants to do discipline forms through Google. Instead of her having to send me a new discipline form every day, I can make a copy of an original and send to her each day instead of having to have her send me original once a day. All right. Move to a folder. This will allow you to move within your Google Drive, to different folders. Trash, import. You can pull outside spreadsheets in. You can pull in spreadsheets that you have already done in your Drive. The revision history is very useful, to see changes that you've done, especially if you're working on the spreadsheet with somebody else. We'll talk about the sharing feature later. All the Google stuff allows you to share with people and work collaboratively with people. This would be very beneficial. Say, your buddy makes a change and you don't think it's right, you can go back and look at his the revision history of this spreadsheet. This is another interesting feature, the download as. Say you're taking a college class and your professor requires you to turn in all work in Excel. You can do your work in Google Sheets and download it as an Excel file. Or say you want to send it as a PDF. The people you're sending it to do not have Excel. They do not have a Google account. PDF, is almost universally, can be opened by almost anybody. So you can send this as a PDF. All right, and these others are pretty self-explanatory. Let me show you a sample spreadsheet that I have created. I'm working on this for Miss Clendenin at Coburn Middle School. Let's just go to the office referral. This was just done in Google Sheets. Teacher types her name in. We got a drop-down box for grade. Double-click it there. There's the grades, location. Double-click there for this drop-down. Why you send them to the office? Say I want to write up a kid. I don't want to ruin my original here, so I would go to File, and I would make a copy. And I would give this a new name, so I would call it John Doe. This is the kid I'm writing up. June 1st. John Doe. 6/1/15. hit OK, and that would make a copy of this document, and I could fill it out, and I could share it out with whoever I need to share it out with. That's an interesting feature. That's a pretty cool feature. Alright, I'm going to X out this and go back to our document. So that's some of the things you can do with this. We'll talk about that a little bit later. The editing buttons, your undo, your redo, your copy, your paste, your delete a row, your delete a columns, all the spreadsheet things you could do in the past. The view, your grid lines. That one I just showed you didn't have the grid lines. You can get rid of this formula bar if you want to. You can see all formulas if you wanted to. Insert. Where you're going to insert your rows, your columns, if you need to add stuff. We'll talk about the comment later. Here's your functions. This is basically my extent of using spreadsheets. Is I do my monthly bills and I do the auto sum. That's how I use this. But you can add charts, you can use images, and just like the other Google apps that we have talked about, when I click on image, it's going to allow me, a few features. I can upload directly from the computer. I can upload directly from my drive, from the albums on this computer, or I can do a Google search, which I really like. I like going out and doing Google searches. So, we could do a Google search for funny cats. There's a bunch of funny cats. All right. Also, you can do a link or a Google form. Google Forms are very interesting. Love Google Forms. We'll talk about them in a later video. Your formatting, this is just your text and your cell formatting. Your data, sorting your columns. Here's what I want to talk to you about. One thing in particular is the validations. So we're going to just do slide 2A. We'll do data validation. All right. You know how I showed you the drop-down menus on that other one? This is where you would do that kind of stuff. Or say you want to do a date on a spreadsheet, and you want people to be able to add the date. So let's go down here and do date. All right. Is validate, save. Okay. When people double-click that cell, it brings up a calendar. As you noticed in the other videos, I put it in parentheses here, double-click. And I'll do something to make this cell a little more noticeable. I'll usually give it a border or something like that, so they know to double-click it. Here's another example of one. Let's go back to data and validation and list of items. So I'm just going to list the ITRT's names. Jason Hicks, and we're going to separate them by a comma. Daniel Vanover, Kevin Marcus, and myself. I'll hit save, and you notice this little triangle pops up. It shows it's a drop-down menu. That's a good way to add drop-down menus to your spreadsheets. And there's other ones, guys, that you can explore on your own. Tools. Here's your script gallery, spelling, notification rules, and add-ons. Let's talk about add-ons real quick before I go back. Flubaroo. Flubaroo is a great add-on, especially if you're using Google Forms. We'll talk about Google Forms in a later video, guys, but Google Forms allows you to get instant feedback from students or parents or peers, and what Flubaroo does is takes those responses and gives you the ability to grade them. You would do a master copy, and Flubaroo would grade it. So to get add-ons, you just hit this, and here are some of the presentation add-ons that you can search and discover. Let's go back here. See, into data, the validations. All right, let's do some cell work. Say we have these two cells right here, and I want to merge them. Just go to Format, Merge Cells. You do it all vertically. We'll just do all right now. That's an important tool for for the aesthetics of your presentation. Guys, this toolbar right here is pretty self-explanatory. It's very similar to Excel and other spreadsheet stuff. Your undo, your redo, your paint tools. Here are some of your currency tools and decimal tools. Here's your font tools. Some of the more cell. This, the color, the style of your cell, the looks of it, the borders and the paint. We can fill it, make it yellow. Give it all the borders shaded. Alright, here's a link. Now the comment. Let's go ahead and touch on this a little bit, guys. As I've said in all my videos, the best thing about the Google apps is the ability to work with many different people and share this presentation and work collaboratively with people. Google gives me the ability to do that. So once I hit share, I can share this with however many people I want, and we can work on this document together. So I'm going to do the ITRTs again. Actually, I'm just going to do Hicks. Say I want to work on this with Hicks. I'm going to give him the ability to edit it. Now, I could only limit him to only commenting or only viewing this. But if we're going to work on this together, you need to give them full editing rights. And once I do that, once I share that with Jason, we can leave comments back and forth to each other. I can ask him, what do you think about, the third column or row 5? How's the data look for those entries? Or I can say, can you please input the data for column E? You could leave messages for each other while you're working on this. That's a very interesting feature that Google allows you to do, the ability to work collaboratively with people. Alright, guys, I think that's all I have for you right now. If you have any other questions, please shoot me an email. I'm going to share my screen and get back to my Hangout. Alright, guys, like I said, if you have any questions, please shoot me an email. Y'all have a great day.